Okay, so let's do this unboxing of Inferno. I pre-ordered it from GMT. I think there's been a lot of banter out there on this game. And nice, heavy, thick box, right? So, Guelphs and Ghibellines, vie for Tuscany, 1259 to 1261. Very important time period in my life. I work at a Franciscan university, and this is a period of time when the Franciscans are building up. This be maybe to 1221-ish. So, 40 plus years earlier, Francis has had an impact in the church. So here's, volume 3 in the Levy and Campaign series. There's the very thick background book. This background book is running 63 pages. So you have all sorts of great commentary on the period, which I think is very helpful for some of these unique time periods that a lot of people don't know a lot about. So it's great to get just a real nice, like almost a history book in the midst of all this. Rules of play, right? So looks like they're going 25 pages, give or take. Summary of this is pretty neat. You get a summary of the rule changes from Nevsky and from Almoravid. And I noticed looking at this, right, here's a full page here on changes from Nevsky. And over here you see maybe a little tiny bit less, but still quite a lot of changes from Almoravid, right? So those two books, put those aside. All right, so now we come to, expect the player screens. These are pretty cool. Very Tuscan in their style, right? Love the picture. It's kind of old school. Check it out. You got heraldic markings there. Very, very nice. And there you go. So you have the House of the Guelphs and the House of the Ghibellines, or Ghibellines. People will say it that way too. All right, so here's the Guelph Lords and Vassals sheet. You can see, I think, this is a much larger game in terms of the forces that are operating in this campaign area and in this time period. Revolt and Treachery summary page. You see revolt tables. Very nicely in terms of the graphics. Let's see, here's a player aid card on the commands that are available. It's going to open up. They're a little bit tight. I think they were probably inside this box in a nice pressed manner. Data on forces, strongholds. Here's the Battle in the Storm procedures. Very cool. And there's two of those cards. Counters, as we've come to expect, and these are so important to get right. In the game here, you get beautiful purple there, or I guess you call it violet. I'm a Catholic deacon, so that just kind of touches my heart because today is Ash Wednesday, and of course the Lenten color is a violet color. So pretty cool. And so we got lots of counters, see a lot more leaders, right, compared to, let's say, Nevsky. So that's counter sheet 2. Counter sheet 3, that's where we get into provender and coin. See some ships, carts, and here's loot, right? Something you'd expect in Italy, right? Great, and let's put those aside. Here is the map, which I think is very nice. Really very period feel to it, right? That's, I think, a lovely element of the map. And as we expect in the Levian campaign series, right? Yeah, the track up here, dealing with a particular season. See if I can flatten this out a tiny bit. Looks like it's coming down pretty flat, which is nice. Right, so you see the season tracks there. Really wonderful. Feels period to me. I mean, I don't know. Let's see the hills everywhere. Pretty cool little graphics of soldiers to highlight, you know, the warring factions, shall we call it. And let's see down here, Santa Fiora, Grosseto. There's Siena, very important, larger city in the region. Here's Pisa, so, notice there's no leaning tower there. Very fascinating. Florence, or Firenze. So, awesome. Really, really nice. All right, stickers for the wood markers. Right. Put that over there. Oh, big, huge pile, right, of the varied captains, shall we say, or leaders. So you see, all right, so you see a fealty mark. You have, right, what the army consists of underneath Podesta. This is Siena, Lunga. So you can see this right here is this shield. So here it is at Siena. You can see it over here also at Lunga. So it's got it's got the reference here on the card, which is nice. I think that's pretty helpful, right? And assets and vessels. So all these tracks, right? Let's pick another random one. Provanzono, Salvini, Capitanios, right? This is Siena San Querico. So you can see this guy right here, identified there in Siena. And then you have, again, sort of, I guess that's like a vassal state, maybe? I don't know yet. But here's a San Querico. And so what's kind of cool is you can, I guess, more easily locate by like using the heraldic shield of the family, right? So we found Siena easily since it's such a big city. Well, where's San Querico? I don't know. Ah, here it is right here. See the shield is matching right there. So you have, it's down the road here, the San Querico. And you got these smaller shields, larger shields. So, oh, see, large ones are lords, smaller ones are their vassals. Cool. Then you have main seats and podestas. So, cool. Lots of boards. Okay, cool. You got bunches of cards, as usual. The Arts of War for both sides. And right, the command cards for both sides. Big, huge pile of wood. Looks like it's gonna kind of like browns and greens, orange. There's this lighter, looks like a tan, right? So these are most of the stuff, right? Remember, is sitting on the leaderboards, but here we go. See the orange. There we go. Pretty nice. These blocks are going to be out there on the map. That's pretty cool. Guelphs and Gibellines. So orange and black. Orange and black. Insert. I always get rid of my insert, right? Clearly, it's helpful for shipping so that things aren't bouncing around all over the place. Back of the box, to note a couple things about it. So when you're interested in this game, you'll see. Okay, so 1 to 2 player, right? I think a number of folks out there have definitely come up with some, solitaire options. I kind of like the one that Zilla Blitz did. And I think Stuka Joe has something that he's worked on, or I lost track. I think he was at least talking about experimenting on it and trying it and maybe adjusting it and so on. So you can see, complexity is 5. It's probably about right. Solitaire ability suitability is a 7, right now. The game here is by Enrico Acerbi and Volko Runke. Development from Christoph Correa and John Campbell. Now you can see the game board and the screen, the card and the counters. That work is done by Robert Altbauer. Box cover, Art of War cards. The age sheet art is Matthew Wallhead. Production coordinator, of course, Tony Curtis, our wondrous production coordinator. Gives you a little bit of background, right? Nice little map, graphic, components, just kind of meant to entice us a bit, right? And interestingly, kind of unique for a GMT game. Usually you see varied works from Roger McGowan on the box edges there, but nothing in this game. All right, so that's the unboxing. Okay, Inferno, Guelphs and Ghibellines. They vie for Tuscany. I think it's a lovely game. Hopefully we'll get it to the table. Got to learn it and see how it compares. I've played a little bit of Nevsky. I have not done a Malvarade yet. That one, for some reason in my head, has felt intimidating. I think it's because it's like a big black hole in history for me. So, but I'll experiment with that, you know, and of course read the game books. It's so helpful. Okay, well that's right. This is Deacon Mike signing off. I think we'll try to get into Inferno more. Peace out to everybody.